Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Welcome to another Pause and Pray. The psychologist Dr. Asa Don Brown says, allow yourselves to be an anchor and be anchored by others. It's a quote that reflects the gift of anchors in our lives, at least as they help foster our own growth and wholeness and health in our lives. And we know that if we want to grow and develop, we need to move on the waters of life. We need to journey and discover. But we also know that if we're not anchored from time to time, we run the risk of just drifting aimlessly across the waters of life. And then any growth and discovery isn't as fruitful as it might otherwise be. So in that sense, anchors can be sacred gifts in our lives. Today, the church lifts up Scholastica. She's considered a saint in the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches. She was born around 480 and died in 543. She's called the sister of Saint Benedict, though scholars debate whether they were biological siblings or more spiritual colleagues and siblings. But either way, Scholastica and Benedict were both instrumental in fostering monastic life within Christianity. It was Scholastica who was the foundress of the first female branch of Benedictine monasticism within the church. And if you know anything about monasticism, it is a tremendous gift to the church. It's a tremendous gift to we Episcopalians who've grown out of the Anglican tradition, because in England it was heavily formed and shaped by Benedictine spirituality. But monasticism in and of itself tries to in a sense, provide an anchored life for people and for the church. For monks and nuns, there's the anchor of vowing to stay in the same community for the rest of your life. So there's a stability of place that grounds and allows for growth. And then there's the everyday kind of anchoring of life in this sacred rhythm of work and prayer. But it's not just personal lives that are anchored in those who join monasteries. The church for centuries has been anchored by the stability and prayer and witness of women and men in monastic life. And it's along those lines then, and with the example of Scholastica, that we're invited to pause and pray, reflecting on some of those sacred anchors we use and lean on in our lives, especially when the waters of life threaten to toss us all about. And I hope your list is long. I mean, there's all sorts of wonderful and holy anchors that we find in our lives. There's the usuals, prayer and meditation and reflection, art, music, reading, exercise, hobbies that bring us life. There's the relationships of dear friends and soulmates and family members and faith communities and pets that can ground us throughout our journeys of life and faith. I hope your list is much longer than that. But today we're invited to pause and pray and maybe spend a little bit more time than normal anchored in any one of those things or any sacred anchor that you have in your life. And also to anchor in it a bit more intentionally. And savor the gift that our sacred anchors point us towards. Namely, that one true anchor of love and light and grace and peace and mercy and life that stands at the heart of all that is. God's peace and blessings to you all.